So here we are on the Owyhee River, and we have the flies that we tied last week. I have one of Nate's flies, which obviously looks good, and you have one of mine, which
looks awesome.
They're not quite the same, though.
No, not quite the same, but they're gonna work.
Yours has a little bit longer wing on it.
It does. Yeah, you missed on that scissor cut just a little, Steve.
All right, well, we're going to give it a try. He's a skilled angler. I'm mediocre, but we'll see if I can catch a fish on his fly and see if he can catch a fish on my fly. But the springtime conditions are not conducive to dry fly fishing.
There's about over twice the amount of water that there was 4 days ago.
The fish are well fed and not interested in small bugs on the surface.
Anytime that you have higher water, you get a lot of bank whoosh, and that means there's a lot of worms and a lot of grubs in the system. And if a fish can eat a worm rolling along the bottom, he's not much interested in a size 24 midge.
In these conditions, many would resort to a streamer or nymph fished down where the fish are. But Nate says he has never fished a fly underwater, and he never will.
I'm addicted to the rise, Steve. If there wasn't a rise in there, I wouldn't fly fish at all.
The solution?
What we would do is we would change that fly that we had on there. And we would serve something that's a little bigger.
So Nate ties on a fly that represents a beetle.
And there we have a swimming beetle. And we're going to see if we can conjure up a darn old big fish and see if he's hungry for a beetle.
Despite the fact that moments later we actually find a beetle floating, the one Nate is fishing brings no fish to the surface. What would you say if I told you I have a can of worms and a spinning rod in the truck?
Oh, yeah, I'd tell you to go for it.
I don't. But more flies begin hatching, and among the 2,000 flies he carries, Nate finds a perfect match. As he fishes his third pattern, we also begin seeing some fish coming to the surface.
There's several fish working that right in there. We should get a fly on those guys, actually.
And as a great blue heron stakes out his own fishing spot, we move upstream, and I sit back as Nate finally puts it all together.
There he is. There he was. All we had to do was just get on one. Come right on over here.
After a 4-minute battle, a 19-inch brown trout is in the net.
He'd be in there just about kind of the average size brownie hook here.
We continue for hours, during which one fish rises to my fly.
That's great, Cass. You're on him.
But it's only Nate who has the skill to hook one. And after 6 hours on the Owyhee, I throw in the towel. All right, we better bag it.
Yeah, ready.
Much as I hate to. So we didn't get skunked today, and by we, I mean Nate. And no, he didn't catch a fish on my fly, but that's a part of fly fishing. You adjust to the conditions. Today the conditions were pretty tough.
They were really tough, really tough. Just enough bright sunshine. We didn't get the hatches off like we could have, and not many targets at the surface, that's for sure.
And that's why Nate has his blog, dryflyinnovations.com. You'll find it there. Great information on what's going on all around the region. For Idaho Backroads, I'm Steve Liebenthal, 6 on your side.